along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
What's up, everybody? We are back from DC Fandom. About to check out this new trailer for the Batman. It just dropped. Super excited, super hyped about it. We did our first initial watch on the Geeks of Color YouTube channel, so if you want to check that out, you check that out in Geeks of Color. But we're going to do more of like an in-depth analysis right here for the Batman trailer. I'm super excited about it. This is your second time around watching it. What's some of the things you're excited about and seeing in this trailer?
Yeah, I was really excited to see kind of like the color palette, the vibrancy of this film really brought to life. In the first one, they had such a limited amount of stuff that they had shot before that original trailer came out. It was kind of a surprise to everybody.
Overall, I'm excited about it. If we want to get the trailer started, we can get it started.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That like score kicks in. The sound design.
Police! Hands up! Stay still!
Yeah.
Get out of here!
So we see Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, obviously there behind this arrest.
And we know with this Batman that has a relationship with the police already. This is kind of like long Halloween Batman, early days, but not counting the origin story. I'm really excited about that.
It's not just a call.
This looks a little like Joker, right?
Yeah.
Like with the train at the train
Oh my
station.
gosh.
He's beating up a bunch of mini Jokers.
But he looks badass.
Yeah, he's just eating these bullets. Chopping fools down.
Trying to reach you.
Ooh, okay. Trying to be a little tough.
Prisoners to match.
Look at that. Look at that swag.
That boo.
take care of myself.
Zoë Kravitz.
It won't be long before you do nothing less.
Andy Serkis and Robert Pattinson. I'm excited to see them together as Alfred and Bruce.
Right. I feel like they keep making Alfred younger and younger, though. I like to see Alfred that's like barely alive. Hey, look, Colin Farrell looking crazy. A lot of blue. See, I like the very blue in this.
You are not so
Yeah.
different. Who are you under there?
Ooh. Look, and
Dad.
eat bullets left and right.
I'm vengeance.
Wow. The action looks so exciting in this movie, and he looks very brutal, like intense.
And that shot of the like news really reminded me of that one in The Dark Knight as well that we got with like Joker. Had his face like really close to the camera.
The Penguin thought he won something. He did something. Nah, boy, not against Bruce Wayne. Big Bruce. Ooh. Look, he flipped him over with the busted Mustang.
Literally.
This is a tight shot.
This is incredible.
Crazy.
This is the way to close out the trailer 100%.
Fire. Damn. Wow. Wasn't that something?
I feel like watching it definitely on a second time kind of like adds a different layer to it. Like I'm noticing little things. Like I said earlier, that one shot that we have of the Riddler, clearly from like a news broadcast, it just reminds you of something that we saw with like Heath Ledger's Joker and this world that Matt Reeves has created with Gotham. Gotham is always like a character itself in these films. And we're really getting a sense of that. Like you said, the Christopher Nolan ones, I wasn't as impressed because I always just envisioned Gotham to be so vibrant and like alive. And I love that you mentioned the colors as well when we were watching it because, like the Tim Burton ones, we got this like gothic, these flashes of like different colors, that type of aesthetic. Like I absolutely admire that. And I really, really appreciate that about his films. And in this one, Matt Reeves is creating his own stamp. So I'm just really impressed by what we've seen so far. How about you?
Yeah, I'm impressed by it too. I feel like the style leans a little bit towards like minimalist a little bit too, like as opposed to like you said, where the Tim Burton Batman's had a very over the top style, very subjective style with a lot of crazy colors, gothic elements, almost like German expressionism to the production design with the curvy buildings and all of that. To where, it goes to the Christopher Nolan Batmans, which is like almost the exact opposite. Yeah. Stark, very much set in very much set in like the real world. Like they went out of their way to only film in like practical locations like Chicago and like Pittsburgh. So it has a very like real world tone. And then Snyder, he has very much like a CGI kind of look. I don't really know how to explain that look. But this has a very like. This has a very like particular style that is very different and unique in my opinion. Like I think like what we've seen, and this is style that we're seeing a little bit in like independent movies and like more like like thrillers. Like this kind of reminds me a little bit of Len Ramsey's film with Joaquin Phoenix.
You were never really here.
Yeah, you were never really here. Like in terms of like how the production design and the lighting were kind of like stripped and bare bones, and a lot of times you just had like that one lighting, moody kind of aesthetic to it. So
yeah, I was kind of even getting like Nightcrawler like vibes, like that same way. Definitely. So yeah, you were never really here, Nightcrawler. I absolutely love that. So you and I are both fans of like the Twilight franchise, and of course, Robert Pattinson has had an amazing and successful career up until this point after Twilight. What gets you excited, or are you hesitant to like see him kind of embody Batman? Because we've had so many iconic actors already take on this role. This is really different. Like I said earlier, this is kind of like Long Halloween. This is a young Batman early in his career as Batman, but no origin story. How do you feel about all of that?
I like that it's no origin story. I like that we don't have to see the parents get shot for the 80 bajillionth time. I'm sure in some way, somehow, it's going to be a quick little flashback. They just always find a way to sneak it in somehow. But I'm glad it's not going to be that. And I really hope, I love Robert Pattinson. Like, I think he's a great actor. Even in the movie he did in 2020 with the Netflix movie, The Devil All the Time. Yeah, he showed that he could be like really crazy and be really good at it, crazy and insane. And also, I think if you've seen something like The Rover, he's also really good at being dramatic and sad too. I think he embodies those elements. The one thing I'm not really sure about yet is how tough he is. I think we see the toughness through the brutality of his character, because his Batman looks violent. Like, I don't care what you say, he's definitely killing fools. Like the way, he may not be shooting them like Batfleck was, but he's definitely smashing some brains, causing some brain damage. And I like seeing the brutality. I just don't know when he like yells. Is it tough yelling, or is it like scared, insecure, rich boy yelling? And maybe that's the point. Maybe that's very intentional. Maybe that's very intentional by Matt Reeves and that too. So we're gonna see. I'm just excited to see him, because I do think he's a really great actor. So.
Yeah, I'm also excited because they do, even though like this is a part of course, like everything that's happening with DC, Matt Reeves is creating his own stamp, and they already have like established spin-offs that are in the works. We have something with like Arkham Asylum / like the police department in Gotham, and then also Colin Farrell's Penguin has a spin-off. Do you think that we are going to get like an announcement of like a sequel or maybe another spin-off film with like Catwoman? Because I'm really excited to see more Zoë Kravitz. I feel like we got a really, really good taste of her. So many different haircuts, different styles. I think we're going to see her much before she takes on like the moniker, and then that transition into her embodying it. We might not even see that till the end, honestly, like towards the end of the film. So there's a lot of stuff that they could possibly set up with this film. What gets you the most excited?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about seeing more Selena Kyle, seeing more Catwoman. I'm definitely excited about seeing. I think you're right. Like, I think they are setting up a lot for her, and I think we are going to see more of her character like further on down the line. I also think they are, I like that they are including, like, they have so many villains in this movie, but yeah, for some reason this trailer like doesn't feel overcrowded. Granted, I'm sure they're saving Riddler. Like, we haven't seen a lot of Riddler, like you said, but I think in the movie, Riddler probably won't even. We probably won't see a lot of Riddler until like the third act anyway. It might be like some John Doe, from Seven kind of thing. Like, we won't see him until like the very, very end, and then he's kind of revealed to be one of the main archetypes. I could really see something like that. I could see him holding, like, just seeing that it was Commissioner Gordon who's like personally arresting him in the beginning of the trailer. Like, it kind of makes me wonder, like, is there he must have been looking for him for a long time. You know, this might be some sort of personal grudge that might be held. So I'm excited to see that storyline play out too, because you don't cast an actor like Paul Dano and it's gonna be like a small part. You know, he's gonna be a meaty, juicy, like something in there. And I think, like you said, there's gonna be something with Colin Farrell's Penguin. He looks totally unrecognizable in this movie, and I think he might be like a second act villain. Like he might be like a first, second act, like, oh, Batman got to fight this guy, you know, like, you know, knock him around a little bit. I mean, they showed him getting beaten up in this trailer. So he might not be that significant of a villain. But I think the main storyline is, like you said, the Selena Kyle romance and development. Hopefully it doesn't end in tragedy. You know, sometimes it's how, you know, some of these things might go too. But, you know, I really would love to see her if she could even, you know, I feel like we've had two great Catwomen so far, like Michelle Pfeiffer, obviously all-time classic, and I even like Anne Hathaway. So just adding to Zoe Kravitz to that collection of amazing actresses is just going to be another thing I'm excited about too.
Yeah, I love Anne Hathaway. I think she's a phenomenal actress, but her Catwoman just didn't necessarily do it for me. I feel like Michelle Pfeiffer's is so iconic, and I'm already getting vibes of that, like this modern version of this character and the stuff that she's going to have to deal with in this film. I'm really excited to see. I love that you mentioned about like Seven and Zodiac, because from the detective aspect of it all, like I get a lot of those like Fincher vibes, which I'm really, really excited about. And also we know like he's like kind of working with the cops. With the last trailer that we saw, they let him like on the scene. Like there's some other things that have kind of come to the forefront. So I'm just like, very excited for like to explore this new Batman and everything in Gotham. So any final thoughts?
No, I mean,
could y'all see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker?
No, leave Joaquin Phoenix way out of this. He does not belong in this universe. Even though that one thing when he's on the train kind of looked like that Joker movie a little bit, and all those Joker looking like dudes, I'm like, dang. Or I know it's supposed to be like the House of Wolves or something like that, or House of Owls or something. I don't know. I don't know comic books people. I'm not going to fool y'all and act like I know something, but. It looked like he's beating up some Joker lookalike dudes, so I'm curious to see about that. Just don't do Joker no more. No more Joker. We got a lot of villains. They clearly got 3 new villains in here.
Batman has the most exciting rogues gallery out of like anybody, so I'm just excited to see what they do with all these characters, but this trailer was awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. Let's go, Robert Pattinson. I'm rooting for you, homie. Just gotta get that scream right. That's all you gotta do. Otherwise... that's all we have for this trailer review / in-depth analysis for the Batman. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on the First Cut YouTube channel. We are doing big things, and make sure you go check out Geeks of Color. They're doing coverage. You guys are doing coverage all day today, so it's going down great. It's going down money. Sabrina, where can people follow you?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SabrinaXMonica, also on Twitter at SabrinaOnFilm.
You can follow me at Director RB3 on Twitter and Instagram, and you can make sure to follow First Cut on Instagram and Twitter at First Cut TMO. And again, people, if you're new to this channel, I know there's a lot of people who watch, reactions for the first time. Please hit that subscribe button. There's currently a golf channel that has a little bit of a bigger following than this, and I cannot stand it. So help us beat the golf channel. Hit that subscribe button. Let's go.